welcome to the Fandom Flux podcast, episode 16, take 2. Once again, I'm your host, KCW. With me this week are Ethan.
Hey.
Zero.
I'm a failure.
No, you're not, because also with us is Kenchi, the failure, the king of not recording his fucking audio.
Fuck you. I told you I was a bad influence, and it apparently trickles down to other things like professionalism.
Dude. Okay.
I apologize.
Complete openness. We recorded this podcast already. It was planned to be out on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. I was going to rush it out and everything. But somehow, when we recorded it, someone decided not to... recording audio. What's that for? We don't need that. So, sent it to me and blank. Complete 2 over 2 hours of blank. No audio.
There's
You sent me a 100 meg file of nothing.
There's literally no reason it should have happened, but it did.
Oh. So we are now re-recording this podcast without Slicer. He was on it last time, but he's failed to show up this time. I don't really blame him. It was kind of last minute, you know. So we're recording this on New Year's Eve. It's 6 p.m. here where I am. It is New Year's Eve night, and we're recording a fucking podcast because someone fucked up.
And I'm going to take bullets for the next hour and a half or so.
Yeah, he is. All right. So now we get to repeat everything that we did last time because we have to do it again. So,
maybe our opinions be more thought out.
I feel
maybe.
bad.
I sincerely doubt it, since everyone else is like half asleep and half dead.
Who's half asleep? I'm 100% awake.
It's 10 a.m. over where I am. It's early.
Oh, poor baby.
Yeah. It's my break. I'm supposed to not have to wake up early. I don't have to work till 4.
You're working on New Year's Eve?
Yeah.
4 to 9.
They wanted me to come in today at 6:10, but I was like, fuck that. I didn't answer the call.
I'm working today and tomorrow and the day after that. And on Saturday.
Okay.
Good way to prove that you were the man for the job, Kenchi. Oh, my boss is calling me. Better not answer it.
I mean, Kmart called me.
Oh.
Yeah. He's leaving there. He doesn't have to do any extra work. Alright, Alright, I guess we'll do what we're doing again, because we missed it last time.
Start with me. Please don't fucking start with me.
Okay, we'll start with Zero then.
Alright.
Because I'm spiteful sometimes.
So what we're doing, let's see. I think I already covered in the last podcast what everything I got in terms of presents. I got PS4, which is fun. I just recently beat the game Contrast, which is a free-to-play download game platformer. It was very good, very high-quality game in my opinion. It's basically Contrast is you can shift into shadows and use that as like use that for platforming and whatnot. And it's a very unique type of game where you shift in and out of these shadows for platforming, and there's this whole overarching story behind it, and I liked it. It's very fun.
Okay.
And aside from the whole PS4, we got a new 60-inch smart TV up in my loft area because the PS4 was too powerful for the other TV. This is just too scrawny.
Ooh, well, Lordy Uncle Tom Da with your 60-inch TV and your popcorn maker that I knew was coming up.
Yeah, popcorn maker. Yeah, we got $200 off the TV because of sales, and then my grandparents helped.
God, we all sound so fucking bitter.
Yeah, that kind of is what happens when, you get 2 hours of blank space.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It wasn't me this time, Kenchi, so don't blame me.
I didn't say
Everyone's
anything.
apparently going to take their shots.
I didn't say anything. I was prepared for this when I woke up this morning.
There is no such thing as the show must go on with Fandom Flux. It is the show can go fuck itself.
But yeah.
What the hell are you talking about? The show is going on. We're doing this.
Yeah.
I was prepared to just say, okay, I'm going to write an apology on the Blogspot page and say, okay, someone messed up. We're not going to name names, Kenchi, but someone messed up, so we're just going to have to skip this week as well, and we'll do it next week. But no, Kenchi actually, rose to the occasion and copped to it, and he said, okay, let's do it again. When can we do it this week? And we're doing it this week, and we're doing it again.
I want to point out the hypocrisy where you were complaining about Kenchi for not being productive and being on the ball to begin with, and now you're complaining at him for being productive and on the ball.
I'm not complaining. I'm saying it's a great thing. It's a good thing that we actually managed to pull this together. Like, literally the last minute, we were arranging this at midnight my time last night. So, that's fine.
I have a need to solve the problems I create by any means necessary.
Yeah. And you kind of did, so credit where it's due.
Kenchi, the problem solver.
If need be, I was going to give you audio of things I might have said during the podcast. So just splice it into this.
Just the Kenchi soundboard.
Just me saying random things throughout the entire podcast.
I can see that now. What do you think about that, Kenchi? Press this button. Yeah, that's all right. Did I mention the time I beat the shit out of someone? Just letting you know.
Yeah.
Insert a Kenchi joke.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm the best writer out of all of you.
I've never said that.
Hey, it wasn't me. It was the soundboard.
Yeah.
Zero, you were saying? Sorry.
Let's see. Aside from everything that I've already covered, I had my grandparents come over. My grandma made Christmas lasagna. It was delicious. Because Italian, part of the family. Other than that, I really don't feel like covering things that I covered in the last podcast because it's just so...
Anything new happen in between?
Yeah, actually yesterday I had I had nearly all of my friends from high school over, my whole group that I had. We went through the 2 years of the International Baccalaureate program together, so we're all survivors. And if you don't know, the International Baccalaureate program is like AP, but for all classes forever, 2 years.
God. I barely got through my AP Human Geography class by the skin of my teeth.
So, I went through that with them, 2 years, all of your classes being IB, pretty much, except for maybe one elective that you get.
I couldn't do that.
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's not hard. I did that. It's not hard to me.
Yeah.
You're all saying things, and I have no idea what any of it means. So
it's basically taking college level classes during your high school years.
That doesn't clear things up as much as you think it would, because college is a different thing here. So I assume you mean like university
in high school.
And it would be the last 2 years of high school.
No.
Yeah.
So it would be like so it'd be like university stuff in college by our system.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. That makes some. I don't know why we would do it like that, but it makes sense.
You get college
in
credit.
that context.
Yeah.
Thanks for shining a torch on the subject, Casey.
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
They all came over. We saw This Is the End. Put that on the PS4 upstairs.
That's the Simon Pegg one, right?
No, that's The World's End.
This is the
3 fucking films with titles.
Is that the one with Michael Cera?
It's the one with Seth Rogen and
Michael Cera and Seth Rogen and
what was that?
Franco.
Bride in that one?
Yeah, it was very funny, very inappropriate. So whenever my little brother walked through, I just kind of was like motioning him to just keep going, just go.
Just give him $5. You don't tell anyone what you saw, okay? I don't care how big it was.
The premise of the movie is this is the apocalypse, and these guys are all just hanging out in James Franco's house. Well, it's the apocalypse, and then they realize that this is the biblical apocalypse, and all they have to do is be nice to each other and do something really good, and then they can get sucked up to heaven. And James Franco sacrifices himself for everybody, but as he's being sucked up to heaven in a beam of light, he like gives everybody the finger, and he's just like, yeah, suck it, and then he gets dropped. And he's like, what? No. Oh my god. But it was a pretty fun movie. You know, after that we just we did a White Elephant gift exchange. And the lamest the lamest present that was given was firecrackers.
Okay. That's not really that lame.
Yeah, I mean, if you tie it to something and blow it up.
Yeah, it was in a big box.
So, big box of fireworks. That's better.
My friend Caitlin, she gave the gift. It's called Alice in Tumblrland. It's a book where it shows Alice falling into a computer.
Oh, I thought it was like she fell in like an alcoholic. It's like an alcoholic story.
No, like Tumblr as in the website to you.
Yeah, I'm figuring it out. I thought you meant like an alcoholic Tumblr.
I got 3 random fantasy books and cranberry sauce.
All right.
But,
I gave away
one of these things is not like the other, I guess.
I gave away it was a St. Patrick's Day waffle towel that said Irish. I had a beer. I also gave away, it was a pack of 3 Hobbit minifigures, little chibis, that I just found at the front of Target.
I can kind of see you like you're Christmas shopping with your actual family, and then you panic and just swipe at random stuff around you at the cash register, and it's like, oh, okay, we can go now.
It's White Elephant. I really was debating getting some worse stuff, but I finished off strong with Saturday Night Fever. 25th Anniversary Edition, Collector's Edition, on sale for $4.
That's how you do it.
The look on the face of the actors, it looks very funny because you pull out the waffle towel, you're like, oh, it's a towel. Irish had a beer, okay. Hobbit minifigures, oh, I guess that's cool. And then Saturday Night Fever. So
well, at least you didn't get them Boogie Nights.
So that was my gift. It was I had a fun time. We played some. You guys ever hear of Magic the Gathering?
Yeah.
Yeah, we played some of that, and I beat all my friends, which was pretty cool. So I just hid in the corner, amassing a giant army until I could just overwhelm everybody with massive numbers. And we hung out, had fun, and stayed up till like 1 a.m. And then I cleaned up after everybody until 2 a.m. So, yep, that was my yesterday. Not giving a lot of things to say. Okay. I'm not sounding very energetic because I am still half asleep.
Okay. Kenchi, you're next.
Okay. So
congratulations on getting a job in writing, because apparently you really suck at the audio stuff.
You made me sad, son. You made me sad, son. I really feel bad enough that all this happened. And the thing is, I'm actually good at editing, either video or audio, because I have to do audio when I do video anyway. So it really hurts my heart that this happened. You have no idea how much.
Okay.
But you're gonna keep taking shots, and I'm fine with that. I told you, destroy me during this recording if need be.
I might lay off a little bit from now on.
But anyway, like you said, I got a job at my local news station in town, writing for the morning news and weekend news.
Yeah, we should do this thing again with the disclaimer. Kenchi's thoughts and opinions he expresses on the Fandom Flux podcast have nothing to do with the news station that he works for, whatever it was. Again, he may or may not have mentioned the name at some point. I believe he did. Everyone else believes he didn't. I don't know. I don't remember. So, nothing to do with them, what he says on this podcast. Woo.
Just in case.
Just in case. Disclaimer done.
All right.
If he manages to somehow get a full reference to Fandom Flux on his news station, I will give him $10.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. That was the thing that he said. There's going to be a lot of that on this recording, by the way. There's a lot of, oh yeah, remember when we said that on the... Oh.
That's why I suggested we do new topics. Because we already know what we're going to say.
Well, every podcast has to do one of these at some point. We lost the audio or recording for the last one, so we have to do it all over again. Every podcast has done one of these, trust me. So, yeah, we'll grin and bear it, I guess. And grit our teeth and get through it. So,
Alright.
Okay, fair enough. That's
all right. Okay,
that's not what we're going to use.
In addition to that, this morning, I had to take a drug test, and I had a plan. Last night, I was like,
Kenchi is the man with the plan.
Yes, this plan is going to disgust you. I had a plan. The place opened at 9 a.m., so I was like, okay, I'll just forego my morning urination so that I can make sure I can fill up the cup immediately after it's presented to me and I don't have to wait around or anything. Well, when I finally got in there, turns out I had too much, and I had to cut myself off midstream. Or else I would risk overfilling the cup.
For those not aware that haven't tried doing this before, that shit stings.
Yeah, you can't reverse gears.
No. You can stop yourself for a little while, but it burns like a motherfucker.
The Red Sea, I feel, is the only waters you're going to be able to actually physically stop.
Okay.
I don't know. Cut that out, please.
Dude, you make terrible jokes all the time. You think this is a special occasion?
Yes, because even I've realized the stupidity of it. Fucking cut it out.
No. Fuck you. I'm not exactly in a charitable mood at the moment, so, you know.
I'm fucking high.
Alright, and last thing, in addition to that, yesterday, I was just sitting around with my friends, and one of my friends walks in with a gigantic paper bag and just drops it on the table and says, Merry Christmas, or whatever. And we all look inside, and it's like a considerable amount of condoms.
Do you have good friends?
I do have good friends. And
did he stop by the Condom Depot to get them?
Oh, did you get that 100 condom?
Yeah. I don't know where it came
Don't
from.
forget the vibrating Johnny.
They were not internet order. I don't know where they came from. There was just a lot of them, so I grabbed me a handful. Just in case.
Grab bag.
I like how you gauge it, too. Like, this is a fairly large amount of condoms.
It was a bag. They were full. It was a full bag.
Yeah, I know that, but you don't say, like, a fuck ton of condoms. You just say, unusual amount of condoms presented to me.
Yeah.
There's a significant amount here, but we're not talking industrial measurements level.
It wasn't like the collector's pack from like Condom Depot or whatever. It wasn't like the industrial pack. It was just, wow, it's going to take a lot of fucking to use these.
The
condoms.
industrial pack is actually just a big weather balloon.
Flat.
Okay.
But anyway, I feel like we get to this conversation a lot, so maybe we should name this episode, I don't know, Fandom Flux? I don't know.
No, we're not calling it that. It's
It seems to come up a lot.
We do talk about condoms a lot, don't we?
I think it's my fault.
Maybe. Possibly. I don't know.
It's my fault.
It's a matter of who brought up the condoms both times.
Yeah, okay.
It was me, but you guys, the first time you guys just drove it out of the park. Like, I brought it up just in passing. I didn't expect it to go that far.
Yeah, well, that was a good... Should we still do the whole, a look back on the year thing?
I don't fucking care.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, well. Kenchi, anything else that happened?
That's pretty much it.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, one more. Oh.
Ethan, you're next, unless you want me to go first.
I'll go. I've already kind of gotten my thoughts together. Anyway,
okay.
So my Christmas wasn't all that eventful. I got the gifts I wanted. I got a Wii U, which I very much appreciated. I got a lot of books I was looking forward to, which I also very much appreciated, and I got some gift cards and money, which is always enjoyable no matter what anyone says. However, there was one gift I got, and that was a gray long-sleeve sweater. That was it. It was a pretty little plastic bag with, tissue paper covering it, and I opened it up, and inside was a big sweater with long sleeve shirts. That was great. Like, if I get a holiday sweater, I want it to be like a fucking Bill Cosby style holiday sweater. I want it to look like the 80s and 90s had a love child that they tried to get rid of, but it survived. And this is what was rocked from that.
You want a thick Technicolor Dreamboat sweater.
Yes, I do. I want a sweater where it is physically painful to look directly at it. It's like a black hole, except instead of light being unable to escape it, it's taste.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah. And anyway, after that tirade, which I don't think I'll be able to ever be able to one up. Last night I watched a movie called Paprika, which is an animated and feature-length endeavor by Satoshi Kon, and I've talked about this man before. Endeavor. And I've talked about this man before, and the best way I can describe it to someone who hasn't seen it is think Inception, but less comprehensible.
Okay.
Yeah, because the idea is, and this came out before Inception, by the way, 2006, there are these mini headset-based devices where you can share dreams with someone, and they're used for therapeutic treatment, in case someone has anxieties or mental disorders, and they're using it like that. However, someone is invading dreams and basically causing a whole lot of batshit crazy stuff to happen. And he's using those dreams to mind control people and take over the world's dreams.
Okay.
Yeah. And after that, that's pretty much it.
Fair enough. It actually sounds kind of like Remember Me a little bit. The game.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
No one's played it, I guess.
No, I've heard of it.
I haven't.
It's just like on the fringes of my memory. I'm trying to remember where I heard that.
It's pretty recent. It was this year.
Yeah. Now I remember what it was. Yeah, I heard it was kind of mediocre.
Yeah, tried to have a Batman combat system and it just didn't work.
Everybody tried to have a Batman combat system.
Actually, I've heard people compare it to Godhand, where you're able to make your own combos.
I wouldn't know. I haven't played it either. I just hear a lot about it, so have the gist of it. Anything else, Ethan?
That's about it, besides being stuck here.
Oh, yeah, Ethan's all on his own for New Year's.
That's not what I meant, fucktard.
Oh, okay.
I meant stuck here, doing this. Again.
Oh, okay.
I'm not very happy, fans at home, I'll tell you that.
Okay. Apparently, Ethan doesn't want to be around us anymore, guys.
Well, I can see that.
What, you feel fucking pitiful? No. It's not going to work this time, man.
Fine, fine. I'll douche up and be a jerk about it from now on. Time to get my Mac and douche on.
Yeah. Douche to douche combat, man. Bring it on. My summer against your inability to record audio. Let's fight it out, man.
All right. Casey?
Yeah. Oh, you want me to do the thing? Okay.
Yeah.
There was a wedding. I went. It was my sister's. She cried a little bit when she was... it wasn't an altar. We did the whole... it was like a civil ceremony, I guess. I don't know what you call it when it's not in a church. But, yeah, that was the thing. It was nice. The reception was awful because terrible 80s music that all sounded like either Rick Astley or Kylie Minogue. And then the Fox song that needs to die really, really badly. It needs to go away. Why hasn't it gone away yet?
I like 80s music.
Yeah. Well, I mostly stick around the heavy metal kind of area.
Yeah, it depends on what you mean by 80s music. When you're talking about, like, I don't know, Journey, or Boston or stuff like that, that's cool. When you're talking about, like, the shitty synth pop that was all over the place, then fuck no.
Not even a little bit of it?
No. Okay, so, yeah. And I hate the Fox song. I really do.
You're not the only one.
I can't get the energy back when I talked about it the first time, but
you can't.
I've only heard it once.
So did I. Well, I heard it twice now because they played it at the wedding, which is why I brought it up.
More bacon vodka, Casey?
No, there was regular vodka for that occasion. That was nice, at least. Oh yeah, and Kenchi drove me to drink last night because fucking we've talked about it already. But yeah, I have a bottle of bacon vodka that I don't drink because it tastes awful, but I've had it for over a year, and I finally had a significant reason to actually want to drink it.
You're welcome.
So, thanks, Kenchi.
Well, I guess at least something good came out of this.
I guess.
You got to taste bacon-flavored vodka. What's that all about?
Not great, is what it's all about. So, thank you, Internet Craze for Bacon. That brought that to my house.
Who gave it to you, or did you buy it yourself?
I bought it myself.
Why?
I was a website called Whiskey Exchange. I thought, okay, I'll get a bottle of vodka. I like vodka. It's the only alcohol that I drink. So, you know, I looked through the listings, and there was bacon vodka, spelled with a K. Like, what the fuck? So I bought a bottle, and it was shit.
What random brain synapses in your head made you come to the conclusion that bacon vodka would be a good purchasing decision?
It was popular.
Bacon strips. And bacon strips. And bacon strips.
Well, I mean, like, suicide and death is popular. That means you're not going to go following people's footsteps, are you?
Well, the death thing, yeah, everyone does.
I will live forever.
You'll live forever, never recording your audio.
Well, yeah.
Well, I mean, that's the secret.
Whenever you do the ego trip things, I'm going to take a shot, okay?
Well, I mean, that's the secret to his immortality. It's like the Fountain of Youth. He can't be captured on any kind of recording device, or else he reverts to his true age.
Yeah, I mean, if a tree falls in the woods, does anyone around hear it? If no one ever heard Kenchi, did he really die or exist, for that matter?
What? Okay, I need to double check right now. Is everyone actually recording their audio? I'm going to double check this shit right the fuck now.
Everyone's recording.
Yeah.
Okay. We're okay.
Did that really scare you?
Look,
I like
you can't drop capture for audio sometimes, so it is a good idea to check every once in a while.
That's the first time I think I've actually heard you give any, like, genuine emotion. Just, what?
Alright.
Okay. So, what were we talking about? Oh, yeah, what I've been doing. Wedding, we talked about. Fox song needs to die, we talked about. Christmas, I got a new robe, which is nice. I got a Pac-Man plush, which is kind of cool. The talking one, so it does the waka 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 thing. That was pretty cool. That's pretty much it. The rest of it I got was cash, which I then spent on everyone else's presents. The fuck? What was that?
Sounds like someone's egging you on about your purchases. Yeah? Then what?
Okay. Oh, I thought he said cash. Oh. It's like, someone's talking about money. Ooh. Okay. No one's gonna know up to who that was. Okay, fair enough.
I think it was King of Zero's brother.
Okay. So, Christmas happened. Then we recorded a podcast and stuff happened. Then we recorded this podcast. And that's still happening. So let's get on with it. Mm-hmm. So the next topic on the list is stuff that happened this year. The Fox song happened this year. It needs to die.
What did
Moving
Casey say?
What else happened this year? We started a podcast this year. We did have kind of a moment last time. and it's lost.
Yeah.
But I'm going to try and recapture it again. Ethan, when we actually decided to start this podcast, all we were doing, we were playing stupid games, and we were talking on Skype. I think I was playing Sonic 1 or something and trying to, perfect it. And I said, hey, I had this idea. Maybe we should start a podcast. And you were like, yeah, okay, let's give this a shot. I could talk to people. Yeah. And if you hadn't said that, this probably wouldn't have started at all. I wouldn't have done this if you hadn't actually gone along with it. So, thank you for actually going along with my stupid, stupid, stupid idea that has driven me to drink on occasion.
I was say, yeah, dude. I'm kind of regretting it myself at this point.
Yeah, and thank you to Sliceness, even though he's not here and he was supposed to be, which is kind of a dick thing to do. He has been here almost since the very beginning, so again, thank you, Sliceness, for that. Thank you to Kenchi and Zero for being here pretty much whenever they could be. I mean, sometimes Kenchi's had to miss an episode because of work. I think Zero's been pretty much here every single week.
Yeah, I haven't missed a single one.
So, that's pretty fucking awesome of you guys to just, keep riding this, whatever the hell it is.
Roller coaster.
Yes, we'll call it that, sure, why not? Thank you to Chrissa for being here for the first 3... Was she in the second one? I can't remember. The second test?
Yeah, she was in the second test in the first real episode.
Yeah. Okay, so thank you to Chrissa for being here at the very beginning. I know you had other commitments that had to take precedent.
What with being the doctor.
Yeah, and all that stuff, even though... But thank you for being here at the beginning. Again, we needed people to be here, and you were there, and you helped us get it off the ground. So, thank you for
really
that.
gave us a lot of decent pointers, too.
And, again, Andrew Machado, Zorgox13 on YouTube. Thank you for giving us our amazing intro music that has been stuck in my head for the past 3 weeks. You're awesome, and I'm hoping that sometime you actually get around to making our intermission, transition music. That'd be nice. But you're still awesome, even if you haven't done that, and if you don't get around to it. So,
because we personally don't care. The fact that you decided to give us an intro music to begin with is a pretty cool thing.
Yeah. So, that's what I needed to say, and I got through it again, and it wasn't as bad as I thought it might end up, because of having to repeat it. So, what else happened this year?
Let's see. Anderson Silva broke his leg and bent it around someone else like a pipe cleaner this year. That happened.
Yeah, that happened.
And I showed you all what it looked like.
And it kind of went wibble around, sort of flopping around like a glitched model in a computer game.
It reminded me of that scene in Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets where the guy tries to fix Harry's arm, but he just kind of removes all the bones from it instead.
So it just sort of flops. Yeah.
You saw it? I thought you weren't going to look at it.
No, but from the way you were talking about it, it reminds me of that scene.
It kind of does go like that, but only like from halfway down the shin down, and it just sort of...
Well, I mean, it only affected Harry's forearm, right?
I don't know, I didn't watch the film. Well, I did watch the film, but I haven't seen it in years and didn't really give a shit at the time. So...
Also, I saw Desolation of Smog. It was not all that great.
It's a middle film, again.
Yeah.
I say again, no one's actually heard the again.
What the fuck is that noise?
What is that?
Nothing.
God damn it!
You've been... What aren't you son of a bitch?
You have a hamburger in the background?
No.
Are you just like punching leaves and thinking no one will notice?
No.
What are you
cleaning up my desk,
In the middle of a fucking recording?
It's annoying me. Got a little bit of OCD. A little bit.
Continue.
To Fandom Flux.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, it was pretty much just like, they go, and then they go, and then they go, with not a whole lot happening in between that would actually make it kind of interesting.
Again, it's the middle chapter. I say it again. It's the middle chapter, so they've already decided where they need to go, and they haven't gotten there yet.
Well, no, because
so that's all it's going to be.
Fellowship of the Rings, the first one was kind of that one, and the middle one was when shit actually started getting, together.
No, it didn't.
How much money do you think they spend on getting people into like helicopters and stuff so they can shoot from high up those walking scenes?
Yeah, or like the spinning helicopter scene.
Because a lot of that movie is, walking, and then, like, look at this epic place, and then they get to a place, and then they're walking again, another epic place.
I'm actually curious how effective the Lord of the Rings would be as a tourist, like, presentation for New Zealand.
It's pretty effective.
Yeah.
I mean, they do have the set of Hobbiton there. Everything. So...
that's probably a must-stop tourist spot if you're in New Zealand for some reason.
I guess. And the mountain that they use for Mount Doom as well.
Oh.
Have you actually seen A Simple Walk to Mordor?
I was actually waiting for someone to bring that up. I haven't seen it. Sorry.
That was a series. Basically, two guys from Rooster Teeth and this other guy who is their local guide decide they're going to walk from the set of Hobbiton all the way to where they filmed the Mount Doom stuff, which is 120 miles, and they're going to do that in 7 days.
Okay.
Yeah, and they did that in full costume, as in, like, dressed as, like, Frodo and Sam, and they had the ring, and they were actually going to leave it in Mount Doom, and they did. They buried it, and someone went up there and found it later.
Who was it?
Who was what?
The guys.
That went?
Yeah.
That was on the show? That was Chris Damaris and Kerry Shawcross.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, one of the writers for Ruby, and I think one of the behind-the-scenes guys is Chris. So, yeah. That was not actually that pleasant to watch, because it's 7 days of walking 120 miles. I'm not sure if you know this, but if you walk a lot for a long time, bad stuff happens to your body. So there's a scene of Kerry rubbing lotion on his groin, like reaching under the clothes because he's got chafing problems. And there's a scene of them popping their blisters on their feet.
I didn't come here today to listen to this kind of bullshit.
Well, you're here now.
We didn't talk about it last time, so,
Okay.
we had to bring in something new.
Variety.
Also, it just kind of had a lot of problems with storytelling, because a lot of the dialogue seemed kind of cliched.
Cliched,
Yeah,
really.
like they did like one of the "no, we'll be safe here, I hope" kind of dialogue.
So
Cliched dialogue can remove from the experience.
Lord of the Rings is the original cliche.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the dialogue of the movie.
Yeah. Well, how much can it really differ from the book, though? That's the thing.
It differed a lot.
Oh. I haven't read the book, so I don't know. I haven't seen the movie either, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah. Like, apparently Peter Jackson took bits and pieces and kind of edited them together to make the second one. So, apparently the third one is the one where the actual plot starts back up.
So it's just kind of random Lord of the Rings, the movie?
Yeah, but it feels a lot like Lord of the Rings fan fiction. That's actually what it seems like.
Okay, except for the part where most of the stuff that was put in the film to make it a trilogy rather than just one film is stuff taken from the other Lord of the Rings world books, I suppose you could call them, from the series of other books that he wrote.
I'm sure, but still that doesn't detract from the fact that none of this was in The Hobbit, and he could have easily just made 2 movies.
Yeah, I would have been fine with just 2 movies.
Okay. So he shouldn't because it would be different from the book? Is this what you're saying?
No. Well, actually, yes. The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy movie was different from the book in such a way that it jarred a lot of the original fans. and turned them off from the movie.
Okay, and the original, I suppose you could call it miniseries of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy was barely comprehensible for most of it because it tried to follow the book more closely.
Well, the original books weren't all that comprehensible to begin with. It was just kind of, let's go over to this place and be funny about it. It's only when the third book kicked up that they actually started putting some plots together.
Okay. Then you're saying that makes a good film that people will want to watch? This is the question.
Well, I mean,
it's not the same media. You can't do everything the same.
Well, I mean, Monty Python and the Holy Grail was just kind of a bunch of skits put together. So why couldn't they just do something like that?
That's because it was a comedy troupe.
Yeah. So,
writing a comedy film is different from writing a big drama.
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy is not a drama.
No, but Lord of the Rings is. And The Hobbit is. This is what we're talking about.
Well, the thing about
You used Hitchhikers as an example.
Well, the thing about The Hobbit is that it's supposed to be kind of more lighthearted than The Lord of the Rings. So you could be excused if you went a little more lighthearted and just decided to... I don't know what I'm saying anymore. I lost my train of thought halfway through that sentence.
It's an adventure film, and as an adventure film, you need to have something overarching to get you from point A to point B.
Yes, but that's the thing. That's not there in this movie.
No, because it's the middle chapter, and they've already decided where they need to go, and they haven't gotten there yet.
Yes, but stuff actually happens in the third act, and then stops. Like, what happens is, they wake up Smaug, he goes to attack the city, cut to credits.
I'm going to stop talking about this now, because I haven't seen the films, I haven't read the original books. I'm just arguing with you over the details of translating a media from books to film, and having not seen the films or read the books, I'm not going to win this argument with you just because you're talking about things that I can't follow.
With it. It's hilarious.
It's always funny how whenever you two guys have an argument, it always kind of has the same sort of style following it, where Ethan makes a point and Casey makes a question to it, and it just seems similar yet different every time.
Okay. That's... What? Okay, whatever.
The content may change, your arguments pretty much follow the same linear path.
Yeah, pattern.
Okay. Fair enough. I don't know what that means, but fine. What else happened this year? To change the subject. I don't remember. I don't remember much of this year, to be honest with you. Mm-hmm. It kind of sucked.
Yeah.
It was kind of a shitty year. Aside from this new amazing podcast being created, not much happened.
A lot of the stuff we could talk about isn't necessarily something I either A, want to bring up on the show, or B, I don't think we can do any justice through the show.
Well, hey, for me, I graduated high school this year. I started college this year.
Oh, yeah.
So,
okay, how about we just do that? How about we talk about what personally happened to us this year?
I didn't get a job.
I got a job.
I graduated college.
And got a job.
I kind of...
Yeah.
Talking to you guys sucks for me sometimes. Can I say that?
It's okay.
What have I done? I've kind of flatlined most of this year.
I put boot to ass on a daily basis because I need to be the best at everything.
No one ever was.
Except recording audio.
Yeah.
I said every time you went on a Nougat trip. I did. I said that.
I'm just going to power through it, and I'm going to continue off of what Zero said. I want to be the very best, like no one ever was. To catch them is my real test.
To record audio is your real test, and you fucking failed it.
To train them is my cause.
Well, to train my audio recording apparently is my cause now.
I will travel across the land, searching far and wide, to learn how to do audio recording. For
the right software to make it go right next time. To unleash the power of my voice inside.
God, this episode sucks.
Yes,
you teach me and I'll teach you audacity.
Can we fucking stop? I want to get off.
Okay, games were shit this year, for the most part.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, indie games probably had the most impact on me as far as games go. By the way, I played State of Decay Breakdown as well. I forgot to mention that. It's kind of awesome. Kind of what State of Decay should have been in the beginning.
Well, I mean, we got Grand Theft Auto 5 this year.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's it. But I got a question. Is it, like, I don't remember from the last time it happened, but, like, is it every time there's, like, a next-generation Switch, does that year of games just suck?
Kind of. I guess it depends on when in the year the consoles are released. I mean, if it's early in the year, which it happens sometimes.
Well, I mean, it mostly also depends on the support that it gets.
The
actual game part of the fucking game.
Yeah, I mean, it's very rare for a new release console to have a decent library, like right off the bat. It's like really fucking rare.
Well,
so
at least in this current area, I think it kind of started with the GameCube era and has kind of gone from there.
Well, Nintendo got some games out this year finally.
Yeah.
Wind Waker HD, Wonderful 101, Link Between Worlds.
I remember like when I first turned on my Wii U and I saw the little sub-menu where you could see all like the people socializing about games. I noticed that only one of them was a third-party game, and that was Sonic Lost World.
Which is arguable as to whether it's a third-party game at this point.
It's arguable
it
as
wasn't
to
made
whether or
directly
not...
by Nintendo, okay?
Yeah, but Sega are pretty much owned by Nintendo at this point.
Yeah.
I've seen people arguing that Nintendo should just get Sonic and Mega Man and make them games that are good.
Or maybe Yuji Naka will just do a Kickstarter and make not Sonic.
Have you seen Yuji Naka's games after Sonic? Let's tap with the fucking box that you hit so that the Wiimote would bounce a little bit, and you walk like that, you tap.
Oh yeah, remember that.
That's what Yuji Naka does nowadays, so fucking... Games suck this year. The Steam sale did not suck this year, though.
Oh God.
Well,
Yeah.
your wallet.
I'm not going to list all of.
Steam sale.
I'm not going to list all of the games that I got in the Steam sale because
You did that last
that was a long list.
Just
Yeah, 25 games I think we
Let's
came.
just say pants. Let's just say pants got tight during that description for how long it took.
Yeah.
26 games now actually because I bought another
God
one.
damn it.
Yeah, it's this weird like like Final Fantasy Tactics and Fire Emblem, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Kind of like that.
Oh.
It's called Agarest, I think.
Oh yeah, Agros. I played
Generations of War.
that. I played that.
Yeah. All the dialogue is still in Japanese, so you have to read subtitles. So, it's that kind of game.
It's like Agros
Pretty fun
Zero
so far.
and...
I think the room is actually so cold I'm losing blood circulation in my toes. I'm kind of scared now.
Okay.
Maybe we should wear socks.
Yeah, I probably should.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
Ethan is abandoning the podcast so he can put on socks.
Maybe
It's a new
they
low.
better be holiday
socks.
socks. No.
So, how do you like Agorist, Casey?
It's alright. It's complicated as hell.
It also
'Cause,
can
like-
get kind of tedious at some points, really.
The mechanics are really something.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got the grid
Mm-hmm.
battlefield thing, and it's got basically you can link up people in your party
Yeah, and then change.
to do attacks at the same time, but they have to stand in certain spots, and they've got like each character has certain spots related to them set on the grid where other people can stand, and they'll be able to link up attacks. But all of them have different patterns for the tiles that other people can stand on to link up with them. So it's really it's a brain bender to try and get everyone sorted so they can all fit together and do things.
You can literally just keep moving until you find a good spot randomly.
Yeah.
Because
It's
it's complicated, but once you get the hang of it, you just have all of them hooked up at once, and you just attack everybody with all of your party at one time.
I guess.
But
I mean, you can't just redo your moves so you can get it by trial and error eventually. It kind of sucks sometimes. I wish they'd done something a little simpler than that.
The major problem I have with that is that you have to battle so much just to move one spot forward.
Yeah. That's... Oh well. It's fun enough, I guess. No, we're not doing that. Are we even going to do that this time?
I don't know how much of this
we...
we're actually going to do.
I had to leave early last episode, so what did we not
Yeah, we
do?
rushed through a lot of stuff last time, too.
Yeah.
We ended up cutting turn-offs off because we got on a tangent about something. I think it was Legend of Zelda, maybe.
Yeah, probably.
So we cut that topic off and just moved on to the other ones and did those. So, do you want to do turn-offs? We're only at, 55 minutes or something.
Yeah.
So...
You guys start.
Okay.
Things we don't like in media, I think, is the general idea for the topic. Things that it just puts us off of experiencing any more of the series or film or book or whatever. Who wants to go? Anyone? I can go.
Yeah,
you
go ahead.
Okay.
You start it off.
You know that thing in, books where they have the really vague opening?
Hey, Sliceness is online. Add him to the call.
Alright. I'll add him to the call, but the thing is, he's not recording audio yet.
Ooh.
So,
we'll just inform the audience when he jumps in.
I'm going to tell him in chat to start record your audio.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So...
Fine.
Slicing this, stop being so bloody obtuse. Add you to the bloody call, you numpty.
I don't know what that means.
Pillock. Prat. Idiot. Moron.
Oh, okay.
Dumbass.
Right.
Man, you have so many words that have one specific meaning. It's fascinating.
Yeah, I have a vocabulary for insulting people. Who knew?
Kenchi probably does.
What?
Not really. I'm a nice guy.
He's
right.
a nice MMA fighter.
Yep.
Yes, very nice. Please don't hurt me.
He'll treat you gently.
Oh.
Okay, adding Slicer to the call. As soon as I remember how I do that. Fuck. Add people to this call. There we go.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Sliciness!
Hello.
Hey, you're recording?
Are you recording audio?
You're about an hour fucking late, dude.
Moving.
You said midday,
blue
not
line
noon.
Midday is noon.
What?
It's the middle of the day.
That's afternoon here. We call that afternoon. But okay, whatever.
I called noon midday as well. Noon is the middle of the day. It's 12.
What? God damn it. Sliciness, are you recording audio? Is the blue line moving?
Yes, you didn't.
Yes.
My audio before.
Okay. Okay. Okay, we'll resync. Why not? 1, 2, 3,
Thanks.
sync. Good enough. That's good enough. All right. And I'm leaving all of this in, by the way.
Damn it.
Right. Fucking hell. Turn-offs. We were talking about turn-offs. That's where we were, Slicer. We're on
All right.
turn-offs.
Starting with you, Casey.
I'll copy and paste the topic list in the chat again, because I don't think you'll see it. Right. Right, so that really vague opening you find sometimes in books, or rather text media. So, okay, really easy comparison. You know in Rugrats, at the beginning of an episode, where they would have this really close-up shot of something, and then they would zoom out so that you could see what it really was?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah? It's like that, and it really pisses me off. And I can blame Greg Landsman for that, because he uses that technique so fucking much. So that bothers me, when it's just all vague, and it doesn't tell you who the characters are, it doesn't tell you where this is taking place, it doesn't give you the who, the what, the where, the why, the when, or anything. It's just all really vague, and then eventually, maybe at the end of the scene, they tell you what's going on. A little bit.
Sometimes.
Just tell me what's going on so I can understand
What
the
was
story.
that noise? You sounded like an imp. Just plot. Give me plot.
Okay. So that's mine. My biggest one, probably. So...
This isn't... I guess I could consider this a decent pet peeve, but not necessarily my biggest one. And that would be when writers who have obviously do not understand how teenagers act try and write teenagers.
Or try and write kids.
Yes. For example, the Maximum
Usually
Ride series. Yeah. For example, the Maximum Ride series. That was pretty hard to read sometimes. And actually, Maximum Ride also brings me into my second pet peeve, when authors use their novels as their soapbox instead of actually telling a story. Because by the fourth book, James Patterson takes Maximum Ride, which started off as this interesting story about kids with bird-like abilities on the run from this evil corporation, into they have to save the world by going green and being friendly to everyone. Yeah, it's fucking atrocious.
Kill things right there.
Yeah. Like, the fourth book, I swear to God, it's about fucking global warming.
Of course it is.
Yeah, and in the book, a hurricane happens that they swear is actually connected to global warming. That's... You don't hurricane that way.
You could word it in such a way that idiots would believe it, though.
That's James Patterson for you.
Don't people read things typically to not read about global warming? If it's a sort of a fantasy style, sci-fi-ish book, the last thing they want to find out is, oh, by the way, global warming is going to destroy the entire world and universe. Yeah,
I don't think anyone would try and I don't think Lord of the Rings would be as as renowned as it is if J.R.R. Tolkien used it as his soapbox for economics.
If he changed it so Sauron was actually the manifestation of global warming.
No. Well,
I will make
trying to figure out how the big eye of fire comes in.
I was about to say, you have to wonder how big of an ozone layer, a big of a hole in the ozone his eye causes. I mean, that thing's just a big fucking ball of fire.
And throwing the ring into Mordor helps repair the ozone layer and solve global warming.
Well, I mean, the elves
because they recycled it back into the fires of Mount Doom.
Yeah, that's how recycling works.
The elves are basically hippies.
Aren't they always, though?
Yeah.
Yeah. Most of the time.
Yeah, I mean, they're vegetarian, tree-hugging, preaching hippies who will help no one but themselves.
Yeah. I mean, Dragon Age, they were pretty much that, but also the underclass. So, you know.
Yeah. Another thing I don't like, and this is more visual media, and this was actually the main reason I was turned off of the the original manga release of Attack on Titan, was because the art style was just weird. Like, it was off, somehow. It just felt really amateurish and kind of... I don't want to say bland, but I felt like there was a lot of flatness to it. It was very flat.
Yeah. Well, I got used to it, because it's very different from typical mangas. I wouldn't call it, like, amateurish, but... it has a different feel to it. It's a lot more rough, and I kind of feel that fits more with the Attack on Titan universe.
I don't know. I just kind of prefer the anime with its more construct, very concise style. And I mean, it's
the animation style is basically the manga art style, but in color with the lines all bold and everything.
I wouldn't say that. I'd say it's a lot more balanced in the anime.
All right. Well, if we're gonna move along, I guess I'll go into my turn off. And one of my biggest turn-offs is the blank protagonist. If you know what that is.
No.
Okay.
You write for a story that has that.
I know this. Shush up.
I thought you were talking to me for a second, Slicer.
I was.
Oh.
Blank protagonist is basically, well, how do I describe it? Well, the easiest way I can basically, my most hated example of a blank protagonist, it's basically like a viewer stand-in or a reader stand-in or a player stand-in. A character with no actual personality traits that basically they just exist for the sake of the story going on around them. And their personality traits aren't really defined at all. Like, it's kind of a lazy way to do things.
Well, I think that kind of works in video games when you define the character's personality traits more. You know?
Yeah, not to mention...
Yeah, in some of them, but not in some that actually tell a story centered around this character. And like in Assassin's Creed, what the fuck did you know about Desmond until which game?
Until after his death, yeah.
Yeah, you didn't know anything about him. All you had to go off was that, hey, these guys want him because he has memories of important people that know where the pieces of Eden are. That was his character trait.
It works sometimes, but sometimes people are just kind of really lazy about it. And when they get around to actually characterizing the protagonist, it's kind of a little bit too late.
Yeah.
Usually, yeah.
I'm trying to think
you
of
guys are making me feel really confident when I come back to write the next chapter.
Well, I mean, some people are into that, but it's one thing that upsets me. Like, I like when people put thought and effort into what makes their characters tick and makes them, like, three-dimensional, like, puts effort. I can see their effort into fleshing out their characters over time. I like that.
I'd like to, but the problem is I have a lot of guidelines I kind of have to follow.
Soji already has a personality. He's not a blank character anymore.
The main reason for making a blank character is that so that you can watch them develop into a three-dimensional character. That typically is the main reason that it will be used more often than not, other than pure laziness, of course. So I like it better when a blank character is used, so we can see development, we can see how they sort of change, and it's a bit of a tightrope, actually.
As with most things in fan fiction, it can be done well and it can be done really badly.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it done badly so much that it just
leaves a bad taste in your mouth.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Is this a TV trope? Because I kind of want to look this up.
It probably is, but it's not under that
probably
name.
is.
It probably is under that name.
Yeah,
Look for
they got something else for it.
protagonist. They're probably under that, at least some.
Oh, that's what you meant. You meant silent protagonist.
To a degree, kind of.
It's effectively the same thing. They do the same thing.
Yeah, like
most of the time.
Yeah, like actually, actually, one of my friends does not like the character of Gordon Freeman or Link because of that.
Wait, what?
The character, air quotes, of them.
Yeah, he doesn't like... No, you go.
Well, technically, Wind Waker Link is characterized by his facial expressions and everything. He just doesn't say anything.
Yeah, he kind of loses that when he's like, oh, you're the predestined man who must save the world. Go on, no questioning, just jump.
I have a question. Is it ever explained why Gordon Freeman is supposed to be this big hero in the second game?
No.
Yeah, that's it. He just survives and kind of does stuff, I guess. Then people talk about it, and more people talk about it, and just kind of... I assumed it evolved from a rumor, and then he just kind of grew out of proportion.
I mean, like, he did, in the first game, he did kind of fight off a huge conspiracy, but no one was there to witness it.
Yeah, I don't like the Half-Life games. I don't like them.
That's me.
Getting back on topic, I think my biggest turnoff in stories is when it all turns out to be a dream, or a coma, or something like that. I despise that now.
That's more of a cliche, though, so... Like, I mean, it can be done well, but only if you... Like Inception. That's where it can.
Or the really big example, The Wizard of Oz. That is probably the best example of it being used ever.
Actually, and probably always will be. That wasn't in the book. In the original book, she just came home from the fantasy land. They added that in the movie because the executives thought, oh, no one would believe a fantastical setting like this.
It still worked, though.
Wait, what? That
was still effective.
She was asleep in the movie? I thought she just came back, like in the books.
No.
Huh.
No.
I guess I missed that part.
You never seen the whole movie?
I guess not. Or I don't remember it enough. I don't know.
You know, I think the only thing that has ever gotten away with that coma thing is NG Nobody Dies. Because so much happens in the coma that you forget when it's resetting back to. So, I don't know. It's weird.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I think it worked pretty well if you establish immediately that it's a dream and this is just crazy stuff going on.
That lends itself better to crack. I don't know if a serious story could do that.
Well, Driver San Francisco is kind of like that. Like, he's in a coma and just crazy shit happens. And
the beast. Right.
Yeah.
I think something that's a major turn-off for me from stories is when you know when you basically sort of know the character's going to die at the end.
That too, yeah.
Because
I suppose that ties into another one of mine. It's that thing where it shows the future in the first chapter and then it skips back.
Oh yeah, I hate that.
I think that's from overuse that I don't like that, but yeah, I see what you mean.
Does that technically count as in medias res?
Kind of. Yes. I believe so.
Like, I mean, sure, showing a little scene from the future to get people interested is alright, but, you know, really, if you do it, if you show too much, that's really...
If you show the future after the final conflict of the story has been resolved, or after...
Then why are we watching the
or why are we reading?
Precisely. Yeah. Every second you're going to be asking, why are we not going faster? Why are we not getting to that point?
It's like the people that flip to the end of a book and read the last page before reading the book.
Like there's nothing wrong with showing like the future as if the future is like further along in your story and not past the end of what you're going to write.
Mm-hmm. Because you're going to write it eventually, and that's just a little sneak preview.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully, anyway. I've seen a lot of abandoned stuff.
I really need to get back to writing. I haven't been writing because of the holiday season.
Same here.
Nobody's been writing. You're not alone.
I was going to write yesterday, but then stuff happened.
Same.
I know what stuff happened, and I'm looking down at my keyboard in shame as we speak.
Good. Yeah.
Right.
So, shall we move on to another topic?
Sure.
Yeah.
Unless anyone's got another one.
I can't think of anything.
I don't believe
so.
Okay,
then. All right. Crossover translation. This is when you take a character from one
series,
media property. We'll call it, whatever you want to call it. So, I believe the example I gave last time was putting Goku in Harry Potter.
Yeah.
And Goku's powers pretty much all come from martial arts, a little bit alien stuff, but mostly martial arts.
Ki.
And...
Yeah.
Ki, yes, sure, Ki. And then you drop him in Harry Potter, and you think, okay, Harry Potter is all about magic. Goku has absolutely nothing to do with magic. How do I fix this? Hey, what if I make Goku's powers magic?
Or the same energy source.
And that is my absolute terrible example of how to do that. So,
well, in the series, they did define it as them having ki, which is the whole magic thing would be really. The one thing I think I recommended before was actually a DBZ and Harry Potter fic where Gohan, who's half human, on his half human side, he's a wizard, something like that. I don't know. It was a long time when I read it, but.
Yeah. You did recommend that. I do remember that. And that
was a thing you recommended.
No, it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense, but it was interesting to read, at least to see an overpowering character.
it doesn't so blatantly transfer one set of powers into another reality example of that set of powers, I guess. I mean, he's still got his key, or whatever you want to call it, so he can still do all of his stupid, world-shattering, ultimate super badass bullshit moves.
Oops, I missed. There goes the moon.
Perfect orbit, my ass.
I fucking hate Dragon Ball Z. But he's got this new set of powers, which fit in with the world he's supposed to be a part of, I guess, in this crossover thing that they're doing. It's still a really terrible example of how...
How about Persona in Final Fantasy X? Because, like, in Final Fantasy X, the whole idea of summoning is almost glamorized, and summoners are kind of seen as huge idols throughout the entire world. So, hey, if you...
Yeah, just Final Fantasy in general has summons as a concept, so that makes sense. And the same with Fairy Tail and Persona, the way King of Zero did it.
Well, I mean, Final Fantasy X would probably bring up the most conflict because of the aforementioned glamour and luxury that a summoner kind of gets, or praise at least.
That's not really conflict as much as it is just a different way to do plot.
Wouldn't anyone else question where a summoner came from nowhere that hadn't gone through the whole specific magical bullshit trials and was able to do all these crazy summoners, and was able to summon all of these crazy monsters and gods that they had never heard of on their from any known summoner before them?
Yeah, and that could be a conflict. Like, that could be a conflict with the main character and maybe the rest of the FF10 cast.
I hear your wheels turning.
Just so you know, I won't do this because I didn't like Final Fantasy X.
No, I hear
fucking passion.
I hear Zero's wheels turning as he said that entire sentence.
Yeah.
So when writing crossovers, keep in mind that you need to find familiar ground if you want it to be about combat. I mentioned this last time, but if you're going to write something that's just character-driven, then you don't really need to worry about powers since you're not having to fight anyway.
It's less of a concern then.
I've had an interesting challenge with that, and I'm not sure how well I'm doing it.
In what?
I crossed over Naruto with Kenchi the Maya's disciple.
Oh, right.
So
yeah, and you made all of Naruto's powers just more mundane, so it's more like a martial art rather than bullshit chakra magic.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. You made Naruto Batman.
Well, not really, but
ish.
Naruto Man.
Arguably.
Batuto.
I made the Rasengan an actual technique, and he doesn't have clones yet.
Where's Sasuke?
Yeah.
You already made that joke.
I know. I just wanted to make it again for the sake of. This is our Fandom Flux year review.
Oh yeah, Batman happened this year.
Yeah.
What about Bane?
No.
I'm Bane. I can't do it right now. I'm still.
That's terrible. You sound like a fucking zombie.
Yeah, I can't do it right now.
Brain.
No, I'm just thinking of the Rooster Teeth life where that guy got a Bane mask and just went around fucking with everyone.
Yeah.
I can't do Bane right now. I'm really still.
He actually has a method to doing Bane. I think it's like talking into a glass.
There is an actual method. I really tried to cup my hands around my mouth, but it really didn't work out so well.
But anyway, back to the dilemma. I had to pretty much figure out the fighting styles of most of the characters I'm going to use from the Naruto universe in that story, and find actual ninja-based things that are somewhat realistic and based on somewhat reality.
Yeah, so Shikamaru uses wires to puppet people rather than shadows. Stuff like that. Yeah, I actually had a talk with a crossover writer recently about how to translate one series into another. Basically, I summarized it. I kind of, cited you as the source of this wisdom, Kenchi. But
so Kenchi has spoken.
The idea that there is a primary series and a secondary series. So the primary series is the world where it takes place, the setting, what the general plot is going to be based around, and then the secondary series is all the other stuff that you're just going to just throw in there and see what sticks, kind of. So in the Kenchi Naruto crossover example, I said that Kenchi was obviously the primary series because it has all the plot, all the setting, most of the characters, and then Naruto was the secondary where you're sort of fitting Naruto around this other world so that it fits a bit neater and you can make it work.
I kind of want to give an example of where this kind of thing went horribly, horribly wrong. Okay, so a while back I was watching these two guys kind of sporking on this one Soul Eater crossover, and the crossover was Soul Eater and Doctor Who.
Sporking?
Okay.
You know, MST. It's another term for MST. Yeah.
That I've never heard of, but
yeah.
yes. Okay.
Me neither.
This did not work. Like, one of the examples that kind of comes to mind is when the Cybermen invade for, like, the first time, and Maka tries to do her soul perception thing, and, you know, they're robots, so they don't have souls, and it all just seemed kind of bullshit. Yeah, exactly.
Cybermen are brains inside of robots.
Exactly, see?
I guess that's a matter of not knowing the source material that well. But, yeah. Yeah, you've got to know your shit, I guess. And if you're going to do a crossover really well, you need to plan it out first and know how one setting fits into another one.
It basically felt like someone wanted to do all of the stupid Doctor Who jokes for the Soul Eater characters, because they even did the fucking bigger on the inside thing. And it was not funny.
Yeah, I guess, I suppose I'm not sure that I would class this character gets sucked from his own dimension into this other setting as a crossover in this sense. I mean, I don't think that actually counts. As far as everything's basically the same, there's just this one character that's in it. So it's basically just, I don't know, a very well-defined OC. I've described it as that before. But that bothers me because it's very, very simple and doesn't put much effort into melding the two universes together at all. Mm-hmm. So, I know Kenchi's written some of those, and Zero technically has a little bit.
I try to mix.
I think Celestial Suicide Mage kind of.
I'm trying to mix it more with Persona now. Like, I threw in Takaya and Shinji was in there, and I'm trying to make it not just one character in the universe alone.
Yeah. I mean, the best examples of crossovers are the ones that really try and meld the universes together so that they fit together well. And then you've got the ones that are a lot simpler. And they can be done effectively, but I think you get less mileage out of doing it the really simple, this character goes to this series method. Mm-hmm. So.
That'd be cool.
There's less of a need for the translation of powers, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you also have to make sure that the powers that are, like, introduced don't break the universe and basically become, okay, you win because you've got this.
Unless that's the point.
There's room for those. There's room for those kind of stories, I guess. I mean, first rule of fanfiction does apply most of the time. You want to have conflicts mean something rather than just being, oh, you win because you're more powerful and always will be. That gets boring really quickly. So,
and even if you are more powerful, there's also a way to lose. Really, if you think about it.
Yeah. Just gonna check that everyone's still recording.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Kenchi?
Yes, I'm recording.
Okay. You were also very quiet, so I was just double checking that you were still even there. So
I said something like 3 minutes ago.
Yes. Oh, is that all? It was only 3 minutes ago. It's not like the only reason we hear is to talk or anything.
Do we have to do cliffhangers, or can we go ahead and skip to recommendations?
Cliffhangers? Don't see why we wouldn't do cliffhangers. Why wouldn't we do cliffhangers?
Yeah, why wouldn't we?
Yeah. If you don't like us or something.
Cliffhangers are fun. For the author.
Yeah. Sometimes. Did you just shudder?
So yeah, I did a cliffhanger recently, and it's a lot of fun. Just seeing all
I'm
the
technically
reactions
an
of
author
the
now, and I
readers.
still hate that. I still hate
What?
cliffhangers.
Well, yeah. It's kind of a dick move, but if done sparingly, it can help raise the tension for the reader a lot. If done sparingly and done well, rather than...
Just make sure you can back up your cliffhanger, because if you drop off the face of the earth, there's going to be a lot of very angry people.
Yeah, that'll happen.
Yeah, I did that once, and I have a reason for it.
Okay.
Like, with True Warriors Never Die, the last one, the updated one was like the one right before Gar shows his resurrection for the first time. And I was gonna update that one very quickly, but then my computer died, and I lost all my data. And rewriting, it's been a bitch. It's just, I'm not up for it. I'm trying to do it now, and that's what my main focus is on, because it's been sitting for a while. So, but yeah, that's the only reason why cliffhangers lasted this long. I usually am way better about it, about getting stuff out.
Yeah,
So
if you're going to do a
thumb,
cliffhanger, you need to be on top of getting the next update out. Otherwise, people are going to rage at you. Yeah, they will.
I can't remember when the last time I really
The rule of
did
thumb with
cliffhanger.
cliffhangers. Don't do them if your update schedule is crap.
Or if you stop updating completely.
I usually try to reach some sort of, most of the time, some sort of resolution, although, still keeping interest on for the next chapter.
Sometimes I can't do that because I write too much. I need to split it somewhere. So I said, I'm going to update this soon enough anyway, so why don't I just split it at the most high point of action and intrigue, just to fuck with you.
Yeah. Something I've noticed that I do actually a lot, and I have to really kind of rein myself in on, is putting at the end of the chapter a mysterious scene type thing. It's sort of like...
Yeah, it's kind of the opposite of the thing that I really hate.
It's like if I don't do sometimes I'll do a cliffhanger. If I don't do that, I'll do something like that in order to keep interest going.
How many times have you done that and had it backfire, where people just guess it instantly? Your mysterious scene.
Casey guessed one.
Yeah.
And nobody else has really been able to guess. Actually, I've had. There are basically three mysterious figures, and one of them has been guessed, and the other two need to... I'm only counting the other two if they're both guessed at the same time, which is never going to happen.
Okay, then. Yeah, I've had some of my plot twists guessed before. Recently, in fact, someone managed to guess one, just on the barest amount of information.
How does that make you feel about as a writer?
That a grand total of one person out of the thousands of people reading has managed to figure it out. Pretty decent.
Yeah, and if they do, I give them a cookie. Like, I message them back, say, wow, you actually got it. Way to go.
Yeah.
It feels good when they don't guess, but it also feels good when they do guess.
It feels good when there's... It feels good when there's...
It's like they're on the same wavelength as
Yeah.
you, so they understand what's going on, which is a nice feeling that you're actually conveying
When
things
nobody
very
seems
well.
to get it and everybody's like, what the heck? You can laugh evilly, but when somebody does get, you're like, oh, here's a cookie.
But like,
From the
good.
reader's side, too, that little bit of recognition is nice.
But there's nothing like when you actually legitimately mess with people's heads on what you've done. Like when it works, and you know it works, and the reviews that it worked blow your mind. It feels good.
I love messing with people's heads. Like, for example, my little brother, when I got him his Christmas present, I told him I hid it somewhere, and he was looking all around the entire house, and I'm like, you'll never find it, and then I told him on Christmas Day, I hid it underneath the Christmas tree.
What?
That's pretty good, man.
How old is your brother?
14.
Okay.
It was so fun. I'm like,
That's pretty good, man.
it might be in here. It might be over there.
You're a dick.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay. So, anyone else got anything for, what were we even talking about?
Cliffhanger.
Cliffhangers. Yeah. Don't do them too much, because if you do them on every chapter, then they'll lose their impact. Don't do them unless you've got something really big to hang it off of.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, there's no point at all.
Already
Make an
having the
impact.
next chapter written is also good, too, because then you can give a definite release date, and, you know, you stick to that.
Yeah. If you're going to do a really big cliffhanger, though, it's you really got to pick the moment when they're at the highest tension. The absolute highest. Like, everybody's down, somebody has a gun to somebody else's head, and one person's like, no.
Bang!
And end it with a bang, because they pulled the trigger. But you don't know who pulled any trigger. You know, high tension.
Yeah. And if, for example, you were to, say, have Harry Potter suddenly and inexplicably in the bathroom with the troll in first year, and then they're about to fight, and then you suddenly drop off the face of the planet for the next 3 months, don't do that.
Completely random example, by the way. Nobody here has done that.
Completely out of nowhere, just off the top of my head, example. But, yeah, don't do that, because that's mean, and people will get mad at you. Yeah. So, I think that covers cliffhangers. Anyone else? Last chance I'm going to ask, so, yeah.
I think we pretty much covered this.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
So, recommendations. I've forgotten what my recommendation was.
Same here.
So
I'll just say
I
Paprika.
still have one story favorited. Only one.
like you were going to forget that one.
Yep.
Jesus.
Yep.
Great Jesus.
Yep.
Yeah.
So today, for stupid recommendations, Zero recommends Gurren Jesus, where Kamina from Gurren Lagann and Jesus team up to kill Nazis.
It is 800 words of magic.
It's really what you would call art.
Yeah.
You know, we talked about
put
things
it.
being art before, but this is a
In
Bible
that
and Gurren
Axe
Lagann
Cop
process.
way, where like a 5-year-old writes a comic, kind of art is art.
Here's the summary. Jesus and Kamina team up to win World War II.
That's a summary.
Hey, Kamina, it's Jesus. What's up, said Jesus. Thanks to Jesus, I have returned to life, said Kamina. You're too cool to die, said Jesus, who bumped fists with Kamina.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And just stop there, because
Yeah.
it's 800 words.
Yeah.
You don't want to ruin
There's
it.
your sneak preview.
That's already like 3% of it, so.
Yeah.
From the
gonna go
point of
ahead
view of a Christian who believes in Jesus, I have to say it's really, really fun.
You should
Driving,
feel
moving
offended,
stuff.
but you don't.
I
because
should
it
feel
is so,
offended.
so
I should feel offended, but at the same time, it's fun. You know, it's not. I'm not taking it seriously.
I shall agree with King of Zero, even though I'm an atheist who is totally fine with other people believing other things.
Okay, that was an unnecessary addition, but
Just
sure.
cut it off then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's so stupid you can't take it seriously, and this is coming from a Christian. It's just, you can't. It's impossible.
It's not the level where it's mocking Christianity. It's the level where it's like, what if this happened? Hey, look, it's Hitler. They're going to kick Hitler in slow motion.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's written from an author who believes Jesus is kind of on the same badass level as Kamina is.
I think the author note said something like, I noticed they have a Bible fan fiction category. I don't think they expected this.
They do have a Bible fan fiction category.
Really?
I recommend people just troll through
Really?
that at some point and just
Huh.
yeah. Don't you remember the time that we went through all the crossovers and saw what was in each one?
Huh. I think I found something to do for 10 minutes after this is over.
Yeah.
Part of me, when Kenchi mentioned that, I thought of him writing a Naruto and Bible crossover.
That is not going to happen, but I will not say that I'm not intrigued at the thought of crossing something with the Bible that I read. That sounds... Huh.
So, Merry Christmas, motherfuckers.
And a
Hey,
happy
Christmas,
New
you
Year.
filthy animal.
All right, so who wants to go next for
I'll
recommendations?
go because all I have to say is watch Paprika. It was really good and was very well animated and just an experience that I can't describe to anyone else who hasn't seen the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea what that is. Is that like a anime or a OVA?
Yeah.
Or?
Think Inception, except less coherent.
Mm.
I should really watch that movie.
Okay. Anyone else?
Sure, I remember mine.
Go ahead.
They were XCOM Second Contact, which you don't need to read XCOM or play XCOM to read that story. It's all pretty well explained, but you probably will need to play Mass Effect because they don't explain a whole lot of stuff for that one. You kind of need to already know the events in the series they take place in. And the second,
You're basically seconding the one that I made, yeah.
Yeah. This is seconding his. Let's see, what is it called?
I don't know. You tell me.
It's NHC, I think. But anybody remember what I said?
I
don't have Google Chrome open, so I can't. If I open it, it's going to open 40 tabs and slow down my everything.
Oh. I would offer to splice in your audio from the last one, but I really don't want to fucking do that because it takes 20 minutes to open one file from your audio.
Oh, damn. All right, then. I'll remember it next week. It's fine.
Okay. You do that. You get 2 next week.
Awesome.
We'll call it that. So, I'll see if I remind you. I doubt I will, but whatever. Kenchi, have you got one or shall I go?
Okay, I got one. Basically, the one I have is called Guardian by Black Dragon 6. And it's apparently, like, he has it in the Ranma, like, fan fiction listing, but it's not. Like, the only thing that's Ranma about is that Ranma is the main character of the story. Basically, it's you know how every anime has weird shit happening, or every anime has weird shit happening in Japan, and there's seemingly no police force capable of actually handling it?
Not every anime, but
most
yes.
of them.
Mm-hmm.
This one has, like, there's a special forces police force with, like, there's a supernatural SWAT team with all the best weapons and all the stuff on it. And there's the conventional police force for supernatural stuff, which Ranma is in. And it is hellaciously entertaining.
What was it called?
Okay.
I kind of want to check that out.
It's called Guardian.
Okay. Is it on fanfiction.net?
Yes.
All right.
Guardian by Black Dragon 6. And about 75% of it cannot be taken seriously. It's hilarious. But it is a lot of OCs, so if that's not your thing, you're probably not going to like it. But yeah, there's pretty much no other characters from Naruma in there except Ranma. But it references
Did you
stuff.
just say Naruma?
Or Naruma, whatever they call it. I never actually
The place.
The place. I never saw the anime, so I don't know what it's called exactly or how it's pronounced.
Yeah. I just found a random article online. Virginia man finds pornographic pictures on Nintendo Christmas present he bought his son.
Was it like a computer or something?
He bought a 3DS and it had...
Oh, okay.
Was it used?
Yeah, apparently it was. Bought it at
Well,
Walmart.
that's the risk you run, I guess. Should probably check that shit first.
His 8-year-old son took it out to take pictures and found that there already were some on it.
How old is his son?
8 years old, son.
Ooh.
What kind of pornographic pictures?
The first line in this is, a Virginia man is going to have to give his 8-year-old son the birds and beestalk a lot sooner than he ever thought after his Christmas present.
Wow.
A lot sooner than 8?
A lot sooner than
8?
he thought. So he's going to have to tell him
Wait.
what's happening, and I don't think maybe why, but he's going to have to say...
To answer Kenchi's question, it's the German kind.
Is it?
Probably.
Legit? Oh, you're just saying that.
No, I'm just guessing. That would be probably the worst to find, I think. Just because somebody would have to
German kind
explain
is very vague. There's lots of things that could mean the German kind.
Right. All right,
Are you
then.
talking about that one German video that used Barbie dolls instead?
No, I meant...
Or do you mean the German video that's referenced in South Park with it's basically scat videos?
yeah, that one.
Or the German kind that's all sadomasochism and domination?
No, I just meant excrement on chests.
Germans have sex, okay?
They're people.
They have fetishes like everyone else.
And they have bears on unicycles.
Do they?
Apparently.
Well, do they have card games on motorcycles, though?
Card games on motorcycles. I can beat that. Card games in space.
We can't beat that. I mean, once you go to space, there's nowhere else to go.
Card games in space on motorcycles.
No, then you do card games with a cat suit.
Card games in space on motorcycles in a cat suit.
Well, crap, you proved me wrong.
No, he didn't. The catsuit thing makes it lame. But then again, he's a furry, so he would like that stuff.
What?
I'm trying to reference Mario.
Yeah,
we get
Mario
it.
3D World.
Oh.
We were making so many furry jokes when me and my friends were playing that.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Press X.
Yay, I'm a furry again. Oh, lost a Tanuki suit. No, I'm not furry anymore.
Press X to yiff.
And my friends were like, my friends were like, it's okay, Joe. It's okay. There's a furry on the inside around your heart. You got fursuit on your heart.
Just press the minus button to release the furry power again.
Yeah. You've got a fursuit around your heart. And then when my
That sounds
friend said,
dangerous.
you know, that would actually kill you. We're weird.
Okay. My recommendation again, I said again, is The Unforeseen Variable. Harry Potter, Elder Scrolls. Harry is transported or dies or something and ends up in Nirn, the Elder Scrolls world. And he is the Dragonborn, and he showed up like 50 years too early for Skyrim canon. And all the Daedric lords are pissed at him, and it's a pretty awesome story.
There's a lot.
And he goes Viking at some point.
It has a very...
He goes Viking at some point, and he uses the word as a verb, which I still don't know whether it's accurate. I really should have looked that up at some point between the last recording and this one. But Viking is apparently...
I just like how innocent that sounds. Like Harry goes up to someone, are we about to go Viking?
Yeah.
Let's go Viking, everybody.
Get your Viking partner.
Fandom Flux comes to your place to pillage and Viking.
I really like that as a verb. It's great.
Viking.
Yeah, to Vike. I'm going to Vike you.
I Vike you very much.
See,
We're
Urban
idiots.
Dictionary, Vike. Urban Dictionary, Vike. An abbreviation for Vicodin.
That's not the same thing.
Let's see, slang for Vicodin, Vike, to raid or pillage, commonly used when discussing vending machines. We totally viked that vending machine.
It is in fact a verb. Viking is Old Norse for marauding and piracy. So Viking is in fact a verb.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It means marauding.
I learned something today.
Yeah, you
So
did.
technically they're not Vikings, they're Vikers.
It's true.
Learn them flux.
Learn to fuck.
First we were sad dumb flux, now we're learn them flux.
Okay.
I do like that. Like imagine some Norse land far off in the north. The Vikers are coming. The Vikers are coming.
Quick, we've got the Vikings. No. That's a verb.
Anyway, I think that's us pretty much. Has anyone got any recommendations left?
No.
I want to
think
recommend A
everyone's
Link
done one.
Between Worlds. Just
Yeah.
it's fun. It's fun.
I thought you sound like
Yeah. All right.
We are playing
So-
that in the show.
Once again, thank you for listening to the Fanflux Podcast, episode 16, take 2. Thanks, Kenchi. Had to get one last shot in. If you would like to get in contact with us and berate Kenchi some more, you could do so on the Blogspot page through the comments, or you could do so through our own personal profiles on fanfiction.net through the PM feature. Seriously, rip into Kenchi some. I appreciate it. I'm not even going to bother mentioning the Twitters because we suck at Twitter. We don't even bother. Has anyone actually logged into their Twitter account since we did that thing?
I have a Twitter account.
Me, I have.
Because Twitter is
Mine's always logged in.
To say.
I was actually thinking about passing it on to someone else to see if they could actually do something with it.
No. Nope. Sorry. I don't give a shit about Twitter. Sorry, folks. So, Twitter's off the table. We're not going to be talking about Twitter anymore. So, and once again, thank you for listening to the Fandom Flux podcast, episode 16, take 2. We're out.
Bye.